What's up, my people? Welcome to the Mind Pursuit podcast, where we talk about anything and everything around the human mind. I'm your host, Masin Zuki. I am hosted at Mint at Mua Restaurant and Conference Facility. If you're yet to check it out, pause, go and Google Mint at Mua Restaurant and Conference Facility. Come dine by yourself and even with your loved ones, and thank me later. Now, in this section, I am joined by my good friend called Davy. You'll begin to know him and what he's all about. And if you realize, we are branded because we have something that is cooking. Amazing thing that we are going to unpack later. So, karibu sana, Davy.
Asante sana, Masi. Hi, guys. Happy to be here. My name is David Muriongi. I'm currently the founder of Boys Mentorship Interactive, a program that seeks to empower, actually equip boys, teenage boys with skills necessary to help them grow in their masculine development. I'm really happy to be here. Looking forward to sharing my story with Mercy and also adding value to your listening. Thank you so much for the invite.
Oh, karibu sana.
Asante.
So now, in this episode, we normally talk about Jesus Whisper moments.
Jesus Whisper moments.
Yeah, what's that one thing that God has been telling you about of late?
Wow, thank you for that. One thing that God has been telling me, Mercy, to be honest, is that I should, let me just use a scripture.
Yes.
It's in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, from verse 16 all the way to 21. But Paul there was saying, we regard Christ no longer in the flesh, but we regard him as resurrected. I'm just paraphrasing. And then it goes on to say, verse 17, you are now a new creation in Christ. The old has passed away and the new has come. Then verse 21 finishes by saying that God made him, now Christ, who had no sin, to be sin, that we might become the righteousness of God. Now, what am I learning? I am learning not to regard myself as David based on my physical or natural surroundings. Because just like the way we don't refer to Christ anymore as the one who was slain, the weak one, the lamb, now is the lion who is reigning, right? So even for me, already in Christ, I am a son. I am complete. I've been made righteous. Ephesians also says that if chapter 1 talks about the way we are blessed with every spiritual blessing in heavenly places. We have been adopted into sonship. We have been redeemed by his blood. So because of Christ, I am already perfected and perfect. So I should not regard my situation or myself based on what I see or what I'm going through. I should regard myself on who I already am in Christ. So that has really given me motivation. Even me sitting here, of course, I have so many things I'm going through. I'll not lie. Like any other human being, we go through a lot of things. But one thing that keeps me going is knowing that these things don't define me. And then finally, let me say, you must think about it. If there's one thing that will never be taken away from you, is that the fact that you're a son.
Wow.
It's the fact that Christ died for you. That is permanent. Things can change. You can change jobs. You can change you can change. So many things can change, right? We're in this world and change is constant. But if there's one change that will never change at all, if I can say that, is that number one, Christ will never be crucified again. And so that means whatever he did on that cross was finished. So whoever I am because of that is permanent. So I should regard myself in the spirit, if I can say that, spiritually and not just with my natural surroundings. So that is what I've been mulling over. I've also been mulling about grace as well. From January, I've now come to understand what grace is. I think if for Christians, if they understood this thing called grace, oh my God, you will live such a victorious life. As in, I don't think we really understand what Christ did and why this salvation is by grace through faith. Anyway, let me not go there. But I can say God has been speaking to me a lot.
Oh, wow.
And that gives me a lot of excitement.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I know you've encouraged us all out there, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. So tell me about what are the highlights of your childhood experience? Where is Davy coming from?
Yeah, this Davy was not born with a beard. Sindio.
Yes.
And was not built sitting like this on a throne, like confident. Definitely, Mercy, I started as a small boy. I was born in Umoja in the 90s. Actually, to be precise, 90. Yes, 1990. In the 90s. The 90s is always the coolest generation ever. If you're born in the 90s,
The millennials.
yeah, millennials, yeah. Actually, you're the proper millennial. You know, the guys who were born in the 80s, because us guys got to experience that side of technology.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember when my dad bought the first ever colored television.
Yes.
We were the talk of our area. We used to live in Umoja, and so my dad was actually still a soldier by heart, but he was in the military. And so what happened is that he got a small trip to the US for like a course on military and all these things. So you know, when you go to the US those days, things were very cheap, or they were at a bargain. You could buy a TV for a small amount, and then the import duties was not as high. So my dad brought a television set which was colored, and I'll never forget the way guys used to stream to our house just to come and see a colored TV. So I got to see how technology progressed. The way there was CDs, there was actually radio cassettes. I know for Gen Zs, I don't know what that is. Video cassette tapes, via radio, and then the transition to CDs, transition to MP3s, MP4s, and now we're on Bluetooth. Now things are really going, things are really rapidly advancing. But let me just say I was born in Umoja in the 90s, and eventually I moved to Buruburu. So I can say my life has been fairly urban. My family, my mom and dad are still there, and I have a younger brother as well. And I can say my childhood has been impacted by about 2 or 3 things. Number one, I think my faith has been a big one. Faith has been quite a big one. Let me not use religion. Religion is different. Faith meaning that the way I've been brought up, I've been brought up to really trust God a lot. And that one thanks to my mom and even my dad, who the values that he inculcated in us were fairly Christian. Anyway, then so that's number one. Number two is that I was brought up fairly in an an urban setting. So that means that I got to experience playing Bano, playing PlayStation games and video games. By the way, I'm still a gamer up to today, and with no apologies, I play a lot of games. And even in the mentorship I normally do, one of the things I normally do to just bond with boys, teenage boys, is that we play FIFA. Wow. Yeah, as a way of bonding, and we use it as a learning moment. Anyway, but I've been fairly raised in an urban setting, so I've got to experience all these things that come with an urban setting. So it could be playing Bano, it could be constructing cars, vehicles and all, constructing televisions, having video games, going for Dufumpara at times. You know, I've done all those things. So my childhood was fairly urban. So let me say those 2 things, my faith plus also my upbringing, has really, that was the highlight of my upbringing as a child.
Wow, thank you so much. So you say born of one mother, one father.
Yes.
Your dad was in the military.
Yes.
You talk about the colored TV, and you made news in the area, the locality.
Yes.
Which born were you?
Which born?
As in, are you the first?
Oh, I'm the firstborn. I'm the firstborn. Yes. I'm the firstborn, and because of that, firstborns really carry a lot of pressure. Okay. Like, let me tell you, my bro is actually taller than me. But if you look at him, you'll think he's the firstborn. But actually, I am the firstborn. And that's because, and that has come with a lot of pressure. So because of being a firstborn, I was really forced. And I'm saying forced here deliberately to say that it was expected of you to always be an example to your brother, be an example to those who are younger than you. So I had to really conform to the expectations of my parents and even my elder ones that time. And so as a result, I really made a lot of mistakes, and it made me feel insecure. At times I resented being a firstborn because I could see the way my secondborn, let me give you just a classic example, a simple one. Like, it's my brother's time to wash dishes. But my bro will be there relaxing, either on his phone or doing something, and then in Kiswahili, wewe ndio mkubwa. Endo washe hizi vyombo and stuff. So niko like, but mom, dad, my bro is called Mose afanya nini? Hapana, endo washe na nimekuambia na sitarudia tena, you know? So I used to feel, kwani this being a firstborn came with responsibilities, as in, why is it a secondborns are normally favored? anyway, but I got over that. But being a firstborn really brought a lot of pressure in terms of making sure I look the part, making sure I look perfect. And as a result, because of my personality, I used to really try. I used to really conform to that. But as a result, it became, the way you can do something so many times and you're performing until it reaches a place where you're like, hold up, by the way. This is now just too tiresome. I want to be myself. I want to just be myself. I want to enjoy life.
You want to be a child.
Yes, yeah, I want to be a child. Yeah, and so I remember even when we had a shop, my mom opened a shop behind our house in Buruburu. Many times it was me who used to actually relieve her. In the first 2 years, she employed someone, and then eventually things happened and that person was let go of. Then now when my mom used to time when I used to close for holiday, midterm or especially end of term, she would time and say, David, unabaki hapa leo shop na una nini? So niko like, what about my bro? Si hata yeye anaweza baki leo. Hapana, ndio mkubwa. Hiyo sasa. So I learned pretty quick that being a firstborn is a huge responsibility.
And thank you so much for sharing that. And that is a struggle that most firstborn go through.
Absolutely.
And now from where I sit, I look at, were you a parentified child or was the responsibility too much? Parentified in this sense, unaambiwa you go, wewe ndio mkubwa.
Yeah.
You do it. You're relieving your mom of work. So at the end of the day, you're becoming a parent to your brother while you're still a child. And that is why you're struggling with being able to just hold up. Like you're telling them, like, allow me to just be a child.
Exactly. Because you see it manifested even when I became my 20s, Mercy, by the way. This thing manifested because many times I was too serious. I was too serious. As in, the way we can hang out as people of the same age.
Yes.
Now you and I at least we are in the same age range. So, we can hang out and sometimes we just want to make jokes. But mimi niko hapo unakuja na, okay guys, unajua saizi, we're in our 20s, we need to think about our 40s. And saizo manze, we are outside, we have gone out to just laugh and have fun and just, sometimes we will gossip a bit, enjoy each other. But Sammy was the one who used to come and spoil.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I was
you
like,
burst the bubble.
Yes, I burst the bubble because I'm like, hey, lazima. So I was too serious, too serious, and I realized that was an I think it's an inferiority complex or a manifestation of a certain insecurity, but also because of the pressure. Like you see now, my dad. My dad is almost now 40 years older than me. He got me a bit later, and I'm the firstborn. That one I had to. Okay, but now you see, because of that age gap, my dad will come and we will only discuss serious things. We never had serious, like, you see the way you can be with your dad na tuongee tu kuhusu anything. So with my dad, he was just we were like talking about politics. So tell me, who is Simeon Nyachai? And why don't you know? Okay, then he will come and tell me sometimes, you're a student of business studies. So what is this thing that I'm seeing here with Kibaki and all that? And that time I'm 17, I'm 16, I'm 15. So I have to reason. And if you never looked as if you knew what you were doing, my dad will dismiss you very fast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you see, because of that, because I always had to know what I was saying, I would always be serious and I will always look as if I'm always serious. Kumbe I was looking for the approval of my dad without knowing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah, so every time I'm with guys my age or younger, especially older, you see older ones will be like, this is a mature person. This boy knows where he's going. But for people who are younger than me or my age, they will be like, I'm boring. I was looking for approval without knowing. But I discovered that later on. And I'll explain that.
And thank you so much for sharing that, because that paints out, children come into this earth as empty slates.
Yes.
How the environment in which you're in makes who you are.
Yes.
And that's why I say we are the sum total of our childhood experience.
Absolutely.
So for you, how you are engaging with your dad, because it was all serious matter, that shaped how you thought.
How I thought.
Yeah.
How I carried myself.
And you expected things to be like, because it became a norm.
Absolutely. For you. Yes, it became a norm in everything that I did. Even as we were playing games, zingine nikikuwa too serious. Hadi wetu wananilenga tu. Guys will just ignore me because they're like, hey, okay, you come on, this is not the time for that. The time will come, but now let's just have fun. Let me tell you something about this guy. Let me just be free with you. So I realized that, I was too serious. But let me also say, for my mom and dad also, they parented me also. They were it was a balance. They tried. I could say they tried because my dad used to spoil us with a lot of candy, with a lot of chocolate. He used to work in Mombasa. So after he retired from the army, he got a posting in Central Bank of Kenya. And so he was posted in Nairobi for a few years. And then now in 1999, he was posted to Mombasa Central Bank branch. And I remember we used to have fun going to Mombasa Mercy. Oh, let me tell you, even as I'm seated here, I normally feel excited.
Oh, wow. When you think about it.
Let me tell you, can you imagine the 90s na mnaenda coast na...
mmeomoka.
Na my dad has his own house. See, we're not going to a hotel. We are going to a house which my dad, Central Bank, has provided.
Wow.
So, and then, here's the fun part. I have a PlayStation 1.
Whoa.
Niko na how many games, Mercy? Niko na over 20 games. Gran Turismo, Need for Speed. Which other one? Okay, there's so many games. So you can imagine it's holiday. You've closed in November and you're opening in January. How many weeks are those? Alafu, our parents don't even know about the effects of PlayStation and virtual gaming. So every day, it was clockwork. After breakfast, 9 a.m. in the morning, holiday, we are here. And then after that, what do we go? We eat and then we go to the beach. Tunajibamba. No, it was fun. It was fun. As in, I'm just saying the way my dad also, much as he had his weaknesses, also I could see the side where he used to be a father to us. He will take us to Mamba Village. He will take us to, if there's a certain chocolate we want, at times he will buy. Even my mom, at times if you want something and she could afford, she will do it. But of course, at times also they were also too serious, but it's because of their upbringing. Yeah. So I can also say, I really enjoyed my childhood. There are moments when I think about it, I really enjoyed. But there are also times whereby, especially as a firstborn, I really struggled.
Really struggled. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing
Karibu.
that. Now, in school, in primary school, is there any highlight?
Yes, lots. Okay, in primary school, so I went to Buruburu Baptist. I went to King's School, Umoja, Nairobi. That's when I started. And then eventually I went to Buruburu Baptist. And then I finished at BD Primary School, which all of them are in Eastlands. In Umoja, one in Buruburu. BD is in Buruburu. Highlights were, I think one highlight that comes to my mind was when I repeated class 2. That was a low light for me. I was really... let me say why I repeated was a fault of my own as David. So I remember I had when we were in Buruburu Baptist, that was when I was in class 1, class 2. I used to fairly do very well. I was fair in my grades. But eventually my parents were like, now Buruburu Baptist is not working for me because the teachers were quite old. They were veterans, like World War II kind of vet. You know, the ones you look at, you're like, is this lady supposed to be teaching? She's supposed to be retired. But now that one. So the quality of education was down, even though it was a private school. So BD that time was really thriving because KCPE, they were always top 3. Not even top 10, top 3. And so because it was just within the neighborhood, my parents were like, let's do everything we can to take them to BD. Now when I got wind that I was going to BD, I threw a fit. I really cried. I was like, no, I want to stay here in Buruburu Baptist. I don't want to go there. So I cried. So it's now January. New Year is over. That is in 1999. It was 1998 going to 1999. And so I really cried. My mom reached a place upon, even if I came this one, huyu ni kama mwaendi. But regardless, my mom and dad had made a decision. They really wanted me to go to the best school. Anyway, so I go to BD, and then the head teacher says, okay, we can take him, but he'll have to repeat. I didn't understand what repeating was until I saw, as I was being taken to the class, I knew I can see class 3 East, 3 South, 3 North, 3 West. So I know I'm going to 3 North. So we pass it, and then we go to 2 East, to West, to... I'm like, hold up, what's up? What's going on here? So I go to 2 East. And I remember even with the things that were being taught there, I was already taught in the previous year, 1998. So I remember when the news broke out that I had repeated Mercy. I will never, okay, of course it didn't affect me at first, but I will never forget the reaction of my friends when I was in the estate now. Moriongi may repeat. I was called, I'm David Moriongi. So in the estate, I'm called Moriongi. Moriongi may repeat class 2. Yeah. That thing, just the way they were laughing at me and just the way they took it, I felt the small.
Tampered with your esteem.
Sana. And I did, and you see now my mom and dad have already decided and there's nothing I could have done. So what happened is that in the class 2, I managed to adjust, though it was not easy because the estate I was in, we were about 4 boys who were in the same, who were born in the 90s, the same year, and we were also in class 2. Now they were a class ahead of me. So it was kind of embarrassing. I felt, sometimes I would hide, and then sometimes what I will use to numb the shame is that, you now see, I have a PlayStation. And you know that time a PlayStation is a big deal. See, I have a bike as well. My dad amenunulia. So I would brag with that bike. I will shine
That
it up.
is how you could cope.
Yes, coping mechanism. Yes, that's the right word. You said it well. That's how I will cope to make sure but deep down. Nico, like if someone was to repeat about class 2, and then I will feel as if someone is stabbing me. But that's what happened. So that is my primary school life. But I remember as we continued, I think for me, I'll sum up my primary school as I really battled a lot of shame. Shame because apart from the repeating, now class 2 I did very well because it was easy. But now class 3, now it became a bit of a struggle. And I really tried to fit in class 4 and everything. But I remember there's this time I got to a fight. I fought. And you know what? Who I was fighting? I was fighting a girl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That girl beat me a good one.
Oh.
Udemalintandika basi. Sasa hivi tukonome tunasema.
A good one. Akipole kucheck.
Unajua.
Very
Wow, there's a time we fought. Me, of course, you know, as boys we are fighting, eh? So there's this girl who just said something about me and I didn't like. So we fought. Now, as we were fighting, guys crowd around.
Yeah, to see.
So I don't know. I kind of felt embarrassed I'm fighting a girl. So because I lost, there was a temporary lapse of judgment. Akanitandika manze. Enye alinichapa. So after that, ito iko embarrassing yo. Now the prefect of my class 5 East akaenda akandika hiyo news yote kwa blackboard. Akanarate story vile nilinanyoroshwa na dem. Guys laughed. So I went and grabbed the board as fast as I could, but of course now it had spread. Yeah, so kulikuwa na hiyo, and as a result, how will I cope with that? Definitely, I'll try and fit in by looking at getting things that will make you look popular amongst your peers. So if it's a magazine, like we used to have a magazine called The Dandy or Bino. Sika unakumbuka? Kwa shule yangu basi so bidili kwa bit book. So I used to bring these cool magazines from the States which were cartoonish, and you know that time it will give you credit, or street credit if I can say that. So as a result, I will use that, and guys will like me because of that. And your story, that story for being beaten and all this will fade away. Anyway, I remember even when now I got to class 6, now adolescence is now kicking in. So I used to try and katia here and there, and I'll embarrass myself at times because there's a time I remember when I was in class 8 now, we are just about to finish. So there's this chick I got hooked up to from another school. So I call her. And you know what I was just calling her for? I called her using a different number, my mom's number. And then I started now mimicking as if I have base. Hey, hi Stella. Now we'll use Stella for as an example. Hi Stella, ukwaje? And so I used base to try and I feel her. And then after that, Stella was like, David. And then I cut immediately. I was like, how did she know? And then now news starts breaking out that David alijaribu kupigia Stella na base na hata vile ana sauti and stuff. Yeah, I used to try and fit in. But I didn't know that time. Kumbe I was really battling, trying to get approval. And mostly I think my father's approval. But I used to want to get noticed and liked. And I will do whatever. Sometimes I will do whatever it takes to get noticed. Yeah. So there are many others, but because of that, these are the ones that come to mind. My primary school was also good. I got fairly good grades. I enjoyed going for trips. I remember there's a time we went to Mombasa using a train, and then the train broke down. And I will not forget the way my class, all the ladies came, Mercy. Some, not all the ladies, sorry, majority came and said, David, would you carry this handbag for me or this briefcase for me? And I'll carry it and they'll be like, thank you so much. And I'll feel so good about myself.
Like it boosts your
It
ego.
boosted my ego and stuff. So there are so many very, very good. Getting accolades for being good at a certain, what do you call it, subject, and being affirmed for doing something good, but also failing. My mom being called sometimes for disciplinary issues. Me fighting with my brother as well. My younger brother, there's a time we really used to fight a lot, all that. Let me just summarize, But I can summarize in, I was really trying to fit in, and I was trying to battle a lot of shame.
And that, thank you so much for sharing your story. And I know young people really, especially adolescents, they struggle with that.
A lot.
And you talk about trying to mimic bass. And you know, that's something that young people really, especially in adolescents, the boys, adolescent boys, they struggle with that because we associate maturity with break voice. Na sasa ukibreak voice mapema wanakuenjoy. Ukibreak late
wanakuenjoy zaidi. Yani both sides lazima utaenjoywa.
Exactly. But what does that teach? It actually helps in terms of our resilience level.
Absolutely.
Because I can see your resilience level being built. Survival mechanism.
Actually, yes.
For you, your survival mechanism was playing games.
Playing games, trying to fit in, trying to get, like even music, trying to listen. I used to be a hip hop head. I'm not a hip hop head anymore. But I used to listen to hip hop because I really wanted my circle, my neighbors, my friends in school and also in the estate. I wanted their approval.
Oh, wow.
So mine was a battle of identity.
It was a battle of identity. Wow. And that it's coming, emanating from you wanting your dad to actually acknowledge.
Without, by the way, I could see mostly it was because I really wanted to get my approval from my dad and even from people who are very important. But mostly, the one who was important was my dad.
Was your dad. What is it that made him look important to you in your world?
My dad was my hero, Mercy.
Oh, you saw your dad as your hero.
My dad was my hero.
Amazing.
In this sense, up to now, he still is. We have good friends now.
Wow.
We are best of friends. Yesterday, I just went to see him. We've been spending time together. My dad, I like sitting to him and we just listen to his escapades, mistakes, and we'll just laugh. But anyway, why am I saying my dad was my hero? Because I remember when our TV broke down when I was very young. Just a quick story. When our TV broke down, my dad went and fixed it. I don't know what he did, but he fixed it, and it was such a big deal for me. And so I remember telling my friends in my estate, TV yenu imeharibika. Wacha babangu anaweza kutengenezea. And so I remember when my mom got rid of that, she really laughed. And she said, umeambiwa TV yako inaweza tengenezwa na dad, baba ya Moriongi, yes. And the way he used to provide for us, the way he used to take us to Mombasa, the way he took us to very good schools. So for me, he was my hero. So if I failed, especially in my academics, he will really be like, he will dismiss you. He will dismiss you very fast without even knowing. If you were careless, he will just say, what's wrong with this young boy? He will use such words and it will weigh me down. So as a result, I used to try and do all these things, be serious in every time, because I didn't know that actually I wanted to please my hero.
Wow.
Let me just stop there.
Thank you so much for sharing. And you can hear David's primary experience, even going through adolescence stage and what that meant. So thank you so much for sharing. I hope we are learning. Parents, we are realizing actually children really look up to us. Absolutely. And words are powerful. They can either make or break someone. So I wish to stop at that. Remember to share, tell a friend to tell a friend, and subscribe because it is free. See you on the next one. Bye.